Has held his first talks with President Obama at the White House, and he's the first European leader to meet Mr. Obama since he became president at the end of January. They discussed the global economic crisis and preparations for the economic summit in London next month. Our political editor, Nick Robinson, is travelling with Mr. Brown. We can join him in Washington tonight.
Well, Hugh, it is official. The relationship is still special, and yes, there is something of a special relationship, both men said, between the new president and the Prime Minister. What is still in doubt, though, is quite what they've agreed to do about the economic crisis.
Preparing for a first meeting with the most popular politician on the planet, nothing was to be left to chance. This was a trip that had to be a success. He wants the names of Brown and Obama to be linked in history, like Thatcher and Reagan. Perhaps, though, not like Blair and Bush. And today at the White House there was no love-in between President and Prime Minister. It was more a brief and nervy first date.
Where are the Brits? They're over there. Huh?
In fact, they're everywhere.
Are they? They're spread
The
out?
Brits were in the Oval Office, where Churchill's bust once stood. What they wanted to know is whether the man who removed it still cared about us.
Mr. President, it's often been said that you, unlike many of your predecessors, have not looked towards Europe, let alone Britain.
This notion that somehow there is any lessening of that special relationship is misguided. Great Britain is one of our closest, strongest allies, and there is a link, a bond there that will not break.
What, though, of the bond between them? Is their relationship special?
I'd like to think that our relationship is terrific. And I'm sure he won't dispute me in front of me anyway.
There are, he went on, a shared set of values and assumptions.
I don't think I could ever compete with you at basketball. Perhaps tennis.
Tennis? I hear you got a game.
Yeah, we could maybe have
We haven't
have a
tried
shot.
it
I don't know if you. I think you'd be better. But there we are.
But on this of all days, there's little to joke about.
Wall Street is plummeting. 12 years of increases simply wiped out. Where is the bottom?
No one blames the new occupant of the Oval Office for this economic crisis, but Gordon Brown is feeling under mounting pressure to apologise for his role in what's gone wrong over the past decade.
Your Chancellor has said overnight that it is our collective responsibility. All of us have to have the humility to accept that over the last few years things have got out of alignment. Is that a form of apology from the government?
The answer was no.
We've just been talking, Barack and I, about the need for proper supervision of shadow banking systems, of areas where there was bank practices that were unacceptable. So we've learned from what has happened over these last 10 years.
Lessons that Gordon Brown now believes he has Barack Obama's support to put right when world leaders meet in London in April.
The president says that it is now time that globalisation began to work for the interests of ordinary men and women. He says that, like Gordon Brown, that means he's in favour of greater regulation, of a reform of the world's financial institutions, and of, yes, another economic stimulus. The test, though, will come when we see and hear not words, but details and plans.
Nick, thank you very much. Nick Robinson there in Washington. And meanwhile, President Obama has denied reports that he's offered to suspend America's plans for a missile defence system in Eastern Europe.